everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tonic Talks, broadcasting from the beating heart of innovation in the Middle East, Dubai. I'm Poupak Parvaresh, Assistant Professor of Interior Design at American University in Dubai. Here at AUD, and especially through CRID, Center for Research, Innovation and Design, we are committed to pushing the boundaries between education, technology, and creativity. At the Center for Research, Innovation and Design, we are reimagining education through interdisciplinary collaboration and real-world engagement. Together at AUD, we are promoting a generation of thinkers who don't just follow the future, they shape it.
And I'm Imad Hanna, Associate Professor of Interior Design at the American University in Dubai. And today's episode is going to redefine how you see the spaces around you. Today's topic might just blow your mind. What happens when artificial intelligence enters the construction site? When buildings can communicate, adapt, and even respond in real time. From robotics factories to build home like Lego pieces, to AI systems that predicts design flows before a single brick is laid, we will witness the transformation of the science fiction of architecture into daily reality.
To explore this topic, we're joined by one of the region's true pioneers, Mustafa Salaheldin. He is a digital transformation manager at Dupod, a company changing modular construction and intelligent building system.
So whether you're a student curious about the future or a professional navigating it right now, today's episode is your blueprint to what comes next.
Mustafa, thank you for joining us today. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. Let's start with your story. Can you tell us a bit about your background, how you transitioned from traditional construction into digital innovation, and what exciting projects you're working on recently?
Absolutely. Currently, I work as the Digital Transformation Manager at Dupod, member of Hanna Group. And I started my career with a very strong foundation in computer and systems engineering. Then this was driven by the passion for exploring new domains. And this curiosity led me to understand a little bit about different disciplines. And later on, I found myself working with big companies like the Engineering Consultants Group, or ECG in Egypt, and then recently in Dubai with Atkins Realis. And this opens the field for me to be open to new technologies like BIM, or the Building Information Modeling, the digital design, the digital delivery. And day by day, I started to recognize the inefficiencies inside these enterprises due to the disconnected systems, the fragmented technologies, the silos data. And this led to some kind of reworking and repetitive tasks, and this should have been resolved by some means, and this means was the digital transformation. This is what led me to the digital innovation later, and the most important part of the digital innovation was AI, and this is the topic I think that is being the buzzword of the world nowadays.
Exactly. We're hearing about AI a lot, and I was just about to tell you, talking about artificial intelligence as a buzzword, like everyone is an expert now in AI, okay? And everyone is, trying to implement an AI in the design process, I can say.
Yeah.
But few that I know, and knowing you very well, in a professional way, and knowing you also, your approach to how hardworking you are, how much you like to explore, to experiment, and we work together on so many things throughout the year. This is in addition to that, I want to trigger something in you, talking about artificial intelligence from the construction perspective, because we've been flooded with information about AI in design as a generative AI, and people get to learn about a couple of tools, be it Midjourney, Leonardo, Crea AI, and whatnot, not to mention ChatGPT.
Yes.
I know that you're the guy that works on the back end of creating all of these tools.
Exactly.
You know, not just about the end users, about what we can combine, what we can achieve, and what we can actually create in these large language models, something that is new, something that is useful.
Yeah.
So knowing that you are coming from also a construction background,
Yes.
along with this technical and creative thinking that you have,
Yeah.
what is the role of artificial intelligence and AEC?
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting question, because actually there is a lot of aspects when it comes to the AI application in the construction industry. So first off, the AI, what is the definition of AI? It is like the machine finding out the hidden data within your system or your enterprise. And this, by learning from this data, it will generate for you insights which will help you to make better decisions based on this data. It will help you to be more productive, more effective, or more efficient, because it shows you what is hidden inside your data. So this is the first part. The second part is, how can AI change the construction industry? So again, there is a lot of aspects here. So if we consider the design, for example, there is something called the generative design. So generative design will allow you to generate based on the data learned from the historical designs that you have inside your enterprise or inside your company, to create a lot of options, design options, based on the project size, the project nature, the project location, and so on. And this will be shared among the architects, the engineers, and so on, so they can leverage all of these data or these insights to make better designs in the future. So it will give you a vast number of options that, based on some constraints like design, like cost, like structure analysis, like whatever the criteria considered when you are doing your design. So you will have like maybe 10,000 options, but you will pick the one that matches a specific criteria.
I hear you.
Matches.
I hear you, and I recall 2016
Yes.
Autodesk University,
Exactly.
when we heard for the first time, we landed together and we were attending, and we heard the first time, at least I can say, about generative design. And it wasn't generative AI, it was generative design. And talking about construction, we stood there, me and you, in front of these arms or bots.
Definitely, yeah.
They were reimagining how we do additive manufacturing.
Exactly.
Through the inclusion of artificial intelligence. So talking about construction, and one of the most efficient elements that AI can do is actually creating a proper simulation while keeping the strengths, analyzing the strengths of the structure, and reducing the amount of usage of the elements or any resources in the whole process.
Exactly.
So do you have any examples that you can refer to or to discuss here in Dubai, on the Emirates in general?
Yeah, I think one of the most important examples that we can follow here is the Museum of the Future. So you can have, for example, this impressive design that has the minimum number of columns or minimum number of structure foundation, that allows the people to move freely inside the venue or inside the location without the need of passing through columns or passing through poles, for example.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And I feel like now, since you mentioned it, it's really impactful. A lot of people will go there and they wonder what is so special about this structure. And what many of us didn't really realize, that how you can flow without having
any barriers,
any barrier. There are literally no columns, nothing. It's just the structure reinforcement that has been achieved
Yes.
with the help or the aid of artificial intelligence and a
exactly,
proper
yes.
building information modeling assistance
Yes.
to get one of the most iconic buildings in the world.
Yeah.
I have a question that hit my mind right now. You were talking about thousands, or let's say multiple different choices
Yes.
that alternatives for the design wise.
Yeah.
So how does having this much of options make the decision making challenging or easy, which I think personally it's challenging to decide in between, and who's coming to narrow down and filter down and come to the latest decision, the final one?
Yeah, this is a very, very good question, because nowadays we have the large language models, the LLMs. So based on the conversation or the prompt that you're feeding inside these engines, it can help you to browse all these possible alternatives and pick the one that matches the prompts that you have fed it in. For example, if you are interested in some option that is allowing more light to come into the building rather than bigger space or ground floor area. So these AI engines can, based on the question that you have asked, that I'm interested in a building that has more views or more sunlight coming inside, to navigate through all these 10,000 or 20,000 options and then pick the right one for your criteria.
Interesting to know.
Yeah.
And when you move to the construction site, because when I was reading about you, I understood that you're working with modular construction.
Yes.
And where buildings are manufactured like Lego pieces.
Yes.
So how does AI support this kind of work, and
Yeah.
how does it impact quality, the cost, the
Yes.
safety?
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, this is a very good question. And actually there's a lot of aspects here. If we consider, for example, the production stage, so AI can monitor the production lines, so they can figure out if there is any defects inside the parts or the modules that we are building, and then it will alarm us ahead so we can take the precautions and fix it. So regarding the safety, for example, also it can monitor the activities of the workers or the laborers to identify if somebody is not wearing the helmet, if somebody is not wearing the safety vests, and so on. And again, it can identify this person, and it can notify the supervisor, for example, to take the proper actions. For cost, it can search along the suppliers databases and the vendors or subcontractors to pick up the right materials with the lower cost that matches the project specifications. So there are so many applications for AI in this area.
So it's not just the end of the story. I
Yeah.
think one of the core things that you enjoy talking about and is the digital twin.
Yes.
Having the structure, which is part of the work that you follow up on how it's finalized and how it's accomplished, and the technological aspect behind of all of the changes that can be introduced
Absolutely.
real time.
Yeah.
Right. For those who are not really familiar with digital twin,
Yeah.
maybe you can start with an introduction. What is digital twin?
Yes.
What is its impact on
Yeah.
smart cities, smart design, smart
Yes.
buildings,
Yeah.
and smart architecture?
Yeah, okay. So in order to understand the digital twin, we have to go one step backward, which we will need to understand first from where it came. So it came from the BIM, the Building Information Modeling, where we have a 3D model and some data attached to this 3D model that serves the analytics and the analysis later on. So based on this 3D model and this attached data, we create a digital replica for the physical construction building. And this digital replica is connecting to the IoT devices, which will be used inside the building, for example, and also it can be augmented with AI. So through AI and the IoT devices, you can do the real-time analysis for the building performance. So you can monitor, for example, the energy consumption, how is the HVAC or the heating and the cooling loads performing, and what is the scheduling for replacing or maintaining some equipments or some parts of the building, and so on. So based on this data that will be generated on real time, and it will be gathered by some means and feed it inside the AI models, the AI models will start to learn more about how your building is performing. And once it has a proper understanding, it will generate the insights. And then from these insights, it will generate the proactive actions that you should take. So for example, if there is some parts of the building that has bad performance for energy, for example, it can give you suggestion how to revamp this and how we can mitigate this. Okay, if there is some kind of water leakage, for example, or some cracking in the building or something wrong, it can monitor this and it can give you a real-time feedback so you can take the corrective actions.
So to simplify it, basically the use or the value of a digital twin, which is basically a digital replica of the existing building that feels, think, and react real time based on all the changes that happens on.
And you can say, like, once you have your digital twin with AI, then you have added to your building a brain and a memory. That's very simple.
There you go. Yeah. And this is actually, I think, where the future of architecture is heading.
Exactly.
We have some discussions about or around dynamic neural architecture, something that we're researching. And I believe that the integration of such technology will make this building to adapt, adjust, and think in real time. And part of this technology is the introduction or introducing basically the digital twin.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, there is a question that we keep asking all of our guests, that many people are worried that AI might replace their job. So what's your take on this? Do you think that AI is a threat or is a tool that open up more opportunities in construction and design?
Yeah, I can understand this concern, but I don't ever look at any new technology, especially AI, as a threat. But this can be thought of as a means to generate new rules in the market. And this happens all the time with any evolving new technology.
True.
Okay, so what will happen is, instead of doing something manually, some tasks that can be done automatically, AI will take care of this part. So yes, some of the jobs will be done automatically by using AI in the future, but this, in the other side, or on the other hand, will open a new rules in the market, especially for people who will be mastering using AI instead of learning how to create AI. So now the challenge is, how can I use AI to enhance the performance of my process, rather than how can I create AI for doing something different?
Interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we always want to have the core essence of all of these conversation by concluding some of the most important advices, actually, that our professional guests can communicate with the students also, our students, especially at the American University in Dubai, watching you now, and they are seeking your advice to understand how they will be approaching the field of AEC, or architecture, construction and engineering and construction, in a future that is driven by technology and mainly driven by artificial intelligence?
Yeah. First off, I would say that you don't have to be afraid of AI. You don't have to be afraid of new technologies, and you have to seek the knowledge of the disciplines behind the work that you want to do. And also you have to surround yourself with people who are interested in the new methodologies. You have to get like the critical thinking. So always ask about how can I do this? What is the benefit from doing that? And so on. So you can get the benefit from trying something different and trying to get benefit from testing something new.
Excellent. So embracing critical thinking, combined with a layer of technology, being curious to know, to learn, to explore, and unleashing all the possibilities that can be introduced to the table, blend it all together, and then be confident and love what you do.
Exactly.
That is an amazing, I think it's an amazing a concept to adopt, and a brilliant advice from a professional like you, Mustafa.
Thanks.
I would like to thank you so much for being with us today. It was really fruitful conversation, and we learned a lot from you.
We hope to have you in our next episode, upcoming ones, for
inshallah.
discussing further and more in details. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Mustafa.
much. At CRID and AUD, we believe innovation thrives when people like Mustafa challenge us to all think beyond what's possible. And with thinkers like him leading the way, the AEC industry is not just evolving, it's being reimagined.
To our students, peers, and every forward-thinking mind tuning in, the future isn't drafted. It's unfolding, evolving, and shaped by those with the courage to challenge what's been done. This is Tectonic Talks, where innovation meets vision. And until next time, think deeper, move smarter, and keep building the world you believe in.